Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. So today, now we'll finish the 8th lab program. Program is write a program to find the count the number of ones and zeros in 2 consecutive memory locations. So you have to take 32-bit number, two 32-bit numbers in 2 consecutive memory locations, and then you should go for counting the number of zeros and ones in those 2 consecutive memory locations. Okay, so what zeros and ones you got to count? It is 0 when I say 0 and 1 here, it is not the digit 0 or the digit 1, which is a part of the memory location. So the content of the 2 memory locations, so you express it in binary form, and then you got to find out how many zeros and ones are there. Say for example, my data is in one memory location, I have 0x1111. Can you see my notepad?
Yes, sir.
The 8 ones I have written. Now this 8 ones is a 32-bit number. Now how to write 0001, 0001, 0001, 1. 4 finish 0001, 0001, 0001, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, till here it is 6, 7, one more 0001. Okay, now how many zeros are in this and how many ones are in this? This is one such 32-bit number. Okay, now if I count the number of ones, there are 8 ones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Similarly, if I go for counting the number of zeros, 3 plus 3 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. 24 zeros are there. So this is what your program should count now. Now he says not in just one memory location, he says 2 consecutive memory location. Let me take another consecutive memory location, and the value in this is AA55, AA55. Okay, so this is another 32-bit number. Again, I have to go for counting the number of zeros and ones in the entire 2 32-bit numbers. Now let me go for writing this in binary. Okay. Now, if I write that AA55 in binary, it is something like this. A is nothing but 10. 10 in hexadecimal is what? 1010. And similarly, another one is also A, 1010. 5 is 0101. Another one 50101. And then A again 1010. A again 1010. And 50101. And then 0101. Now we got to count the number of ones in the entire thing. Let us go for counting the number of ones. So here I have 2 ones. 2 plus 2, 4, plus 2, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And here 8 ones. 16 plus 8. So totally 24 ones are there. 24 ones. And how many zeros are there? So here 2. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And here it is 24 zeros. 16 plus 24. Okay. So 16 plus 24 is how much? 40. 40 zeros. Is that correct? So,
Yes, sir.
okay. Now what is hexadecimal equivalent of 24? 18. What is hexadecimal equivalent of 40? 16 how many times?
28.
28. Very good. So 28. Now what I have to, let me write, so to avoid confusion. 18H and 28H, hexadecimal numbers, right? So this is what the answer I need to get if I take these two as the content of two consecutive memory locations. Okay. Now how to write a logic for counting all these things we will see now. Okay. So this is what the problem is. Write a program to count the number of ones and zeros in two consecutive memory location. Here the question says two consecutive memory location. So you can also be asked for finding the number of zeros and ones from three consecutive memory locations or four consecutive memory locations or only one memory location also. Okay. So we will do it for 2 and later we will try to do it for 3 and 1. So if you are able to do it for 2, then easily you can do it for any number of consecutive memory locations. Okay. So we'll go to the program now. Now here is the program. So is the program visible clearly to all of you? Is the
Yes,
font
sir.
size appropriate? Okay. So have a look into this now. So I have taken the area name as 10. Okay, this is what the name we have given. So let me come here. So this is what the data I've defined. So two values in an array. These are my two consecutive memory location, and the same values what I wrote here in the notepad is also here. 111 AAA, and we have already written the binary equivalent of these two memory locations. Okay, these two values. So and there is no data area because it is not necessary for us, because we are not writing anything into the code area. We have just defined the data. We are reading this data and then we go for counting the number of zeros and ones which are present inside the binary equivalent of these things. So I guess you people understood with the data defined in the code area.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now we'll come back to the program. See here, I've taken two register R0 and R3. See, I'm sorry, R2 and R3. Say R2, I'm using the register for tracking the number of ones, and I'm initializing it to 0. And R3 is the register which I use for tracking the number of zeros. Okay, this is for number of ones, and this is for tracking the number of zeros. Every time a 1 is encountered, I go for incrementing the R2 register, and every time a 0 is encountered, I go for incrementing the R3 value. Okay, so this is for ones count and this is for zeros count. So and then I'm initializing the register R7 with 2. Now why I'm taking R7 with 2? Because I got to find the number of zeros and ones in two consecutive memory locations. Now in R7 we have the count of the memory locations from where you got to find the number of zeros and ones. Okay, R7 is initialized with 2. Now I make use of this R7 for the looping purpose. So in case if I ask you to find the number of zeros and ones in the three consecutive memory locations, then R7 value you have to change it to 3. Okay. Now let us do it for only 2 first, and later we will go for changing it to higher value and then also the lower value than 2. Next, after initializing R7 with the value 2, now you understood why it is initialized with the value 2, because we are going for counting the number of zeros and ones from the two consecutive memory locations. Next, I'm loading the address of the memory location value to the register R6. Next, I'm initializing the register R1 with 32. So why I'm initializing the register R1 with 32? So the simple logic that we follow in order to count the number of zeros and ones in the given 32-bit number is this. So this is my number now. Now I go for performing the rotate right operation. So I perform a rotate right operation on this data. If I rotate right, what will happen? So let me write carry here. C is equal to. So the bit which is at the rightmost end, it gets copied to the carry flag. So what is the bit at the rightmost end right now?
1.
1. 1 gets copied to the carry flag, and the same thing, it is removed from here, and then the same thing goes and sits at the MSB position or the left end of the input. So this is how you get it. Hope you people are able to understand.
Yes, sir.
1 bit right shift I did, rotate right, not shift, right shift. 1 bit rotate right I did, and in the carry I got 1. Now I go for examining the carry flag. In the carry flag, if it is 1, then I go for incrementing what? R2. In the carry flag, if it is 0, then I go for incrementing R3. Hope you people are able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Now like this, what is the, how many number of times I have to keep doing the rotate right operation? How many bit number it is?
32 times.
32 bit number. Now I got to do this 32 times. Okay, so that is the reason we are initializing the R1 register with 32. So after loading the address of the memory location value to the register R6, initializing the register R1 with 32. Next, what we are doing is we are loading the content of the memory location to the register R0. Now, what gets loaded to register R0 is now 111. 111. The first 32-bit data gets loaded into the register R0, and R6 after loading R6, since it is post index, R6 is automatically incremented by 4 bytes, and it is pointing to our second data value or the second data element. Now, let us come back here. Now, in R0, I have the first data value. Now, how to find the number of zeros and ones in the content that is present inside the register R0? Now, this is what I'm making use of. So, this is the kind of pre-processing what we are doing by using the barrel shifter. So, this was already explained to you people. Now, I'm doing rotate right operation. Rotate right by how many bit? By how many bit? One bit. Every time you're rotating by 1 bit. Okay. So when you rotate, what happens? The rightmost bit, as it is shown here, the rightmost bit, which is here, it gets copied to the carry flag, and the same thing is shifted back to the MSB position. And after rotating, see the next instruction what we are writing. BHI, branch on high. Okay. Now what branch on high, this high condition will do is, it will examine the carry flag. What is the carry flag right now? 1. So 1 is high or low. What is your inference? 1 is high or low?
High.
I. 1 is I. Branch on I. In the carry flag, I have 1. Yes, carry flag is I. Now, where you got to do? Branch on I to ones. The condition is true where it comes to ones. It jumps to the target address once. And there, what we are doing, we are going for incrementing the value of the register R2. Because this is the register which are reserved for tracking the number of ones. Now, R2 is incremented by 1. Okay, R2 is equal to R2 plus 1. And next what we are doing, so I'm done with one rotation. And like this, I got to repeat this for 31 more times. Now for that purpose, we have already initialized R1 with 32. So go for decrementing 1 from the register R1. Okay, so it was 32 minus 1, it becomes 31, and you're checking branch and not equal to loop 0. Okay, so compare is not there. If you want, you can write the compare. It is not necessary. Since 31 is not 0, correct? No, after subtracting 1, I'm not getting the 0 as the result. Instead, I'm getting 31. Now, branch and not equal to is true. Now, it goes back to the loop because 0 flag is still 0. It goes back to the loop 0. It comes here. And now, it goes for performing the second rotation. What happens? This time, this is the bit that gets into the carry flag. This 1 is overwritten by 0, and the same 0 also gets added to the tail end. So gets added to the MSB position. So now, after performing the second rotate right by 1 bit, again BHI is called, branch on I. Now it examines the carry flag. What is the carry flag right now?
Low.
Low. It is 0. 0 is nothing but low. Now the condition is false. Condition is false, so we don't have the control going to the or jumping to the address once. Instead, it performs the execution of this statement. What it is doing? Add R3, R3, 1. Go for increasing the content of register R3 by 1 because we have encountered the first 0. Now R3 gets incremented by 1. And then after R3 is incremented, I don't want R2 to be incremented. Now what we have to do, I have to say branch to loop 1. Skip this and come here. I'm just saying an unconditional branch after incrementing R3, just do an unconditional branch and come to this. Okay, people are able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it comes to the loop 1. And now here, again we are decrementing the value of R1 register by 1 more. So value of R1 gets decremented by 1 more, and like this, how many times it goes? For 30 times more. Okay, so now 30 times it is iterated like that, and the value of R1 is 0 right now when I subtract. So branch and not equal to loop 0 is false, where it comes to this. And what is that I'm trying to do here? Trying to subtract 1 from the register R7. Because I am done with counting the number of zeros and ones in the first 32-bit number. Now I have to go for finding the number of zeros and ones in the next consecutive memory location, that is this. Now I decrement 1 from the register R7, and now this is 2 minus 1. R7 we have initialized it to 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. Now I'm comparing 1 with 0. Yes, 1 is not equal to 0. That means there is one more memory location just after this, from where even I should go for counting the number of zeros and ones. Now where it will go, it will loop back. Branch and not equal to loop. It comes here. Okay. Now, so 32 is again initialized. Okay. Sorry, R1 register is again initialized with the value 32. Because even the second memory location is also of 32-bit number. Now, how many times rotate right I got to do? 32 times. Even R1 is initialized back to 32 again. And now what gets loaded into the register R0 is the second number, AA55, AA55. And that gets loaded into the register R0. Because R6 was already post incremented by 4 bytes. Now after loading this next second value to R0, even again R6 gets incremented by 4 more bytes, but that is not really required for us. Okay, so because R6 is right now just pointing to the third consecutive memory location, and we have concerned with only the first 2 consecutive memory locations. And next what we do here, we go for performing the rotate right operation on R0, and we are updating the register R0. And every time the rotate right is done, I go for incrementing the, I check whether the there is 1 in the carry flag or 0 in the carry flag. If there is 1 in the carry flag, once is called and R2 gets incremented. Okay. Now, what is happening now? Is it a separate count for the second memory location? No, we're just continuing the count which we had obtained for the first memory location. Say first memory location 8 ones were there. Now in the second memory location it is continuing. Now R2 value is 8. 8 plus 1, it becomes 9. It keeps going like this. Okay, so R2 and R3 registers, they are not going to keep the separate count for zeros and ones for the first memory location and the second memory location. Instead, so what it is doing, so it continues with the counting. After the first iteration of this R7, so we have the count of zeros and ones in register R2 and R3 respectively. In the second iteration of this register R7, so the same count which is there in R2 and R3 gets incremented for the number of zeros and ones that are present inside the second consecutive memory location also. And next, finally, when all the 32-bit bits are rotated and for the second memory location, R1 becomes 0. Now branch are not equal to loop 0. That is condition is false. It comes here. Right now the value of 1 is how much? R7 is how much? 1. 1 minus 1 is how much? 0. Now compare 0 with 0. Condition is false. Don't go back to loop. So just be looping here in the back. So OP people understood with the program?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll quickly go for executing this. We'll debug the program there again, and then we will go for doing it for finding the number of zeros and ones in the 3 consecutive memory location, and we will also do it for finding the number of zeros and ones in the 1 memory location. Okay, so let me open Keil now. Okay, the program is already here. So it was already copied. It's the same program. So let me go for, and it is again for counting from the 2 consecutive memory locations. I'm saving the program, translating it, so building it. Now I'm going for debugging. Now before I start with the debugging, let me make this what I've written in the notepad to the original form. 0, 1. So in the carry flag, we'll assume nothing is there. So now let us come back here. So this is my code. Let us start debugging. So I'm pressing F11. So what gets loaded into the register R2 is 0. So R2 was already 0. We've initialized it again to 0. And we are initializing the register R3 with 0 again. So 0. Now R7 register we are initializing with 2. Now R7 should get the value 2. See, R7 got the value 2. Next, I'm loading. So even I don't know where exactly inside the code area my 2 consecutive memory words are present. So they are here actually. Okay, I don't know what is the address of this. Now the moment this statement gets executed, you'll see in the register R6 address of this particular byte. So let me press F11. So it is 58. So address of this particular byte is 58, and these are all the statements which are related to your code. So and I'm not interested in all these things. So let me position my memory from the beginning, from starting from here. So I'm going to change this 4C to 58. So now my memory is positioned at here. Okay, next. Loading the register R1 with the 32-bit. So because I got to do so many shifts in order to find the number of zeros and ones in every memory location. Now 32 is the decimal number, and what got loaded into the register R0 is the hexadecimal number. Okay, so 20 is the hexadecimal equivalent for 32. Okay, next. So we're loading the content of register, R6 is holding the address that is 58, which is the address of this particular byte. Now, so this 111 gets loaded into the register R0. So load the content of the memory location whose address is present in R6 register to R0. R0 got 1111. Okay. Now I'm rotating right by 1 bit on R0. On R0 we are rotating right by 1 bit. So let me come here now. Now when I rotate this right by 1 bit, so this 1 is removed from here, it is copied to the carry flag, and the same thing is added to the MSB position. So let me come now. Now I'm pressing F7, F11. Before that, let me expand my current program status register. Keep observing this carry flag now. Since what goes to the carry, what should go to the carry flag now? 1. Okay. Now if I press F11, the 1 goes to the carry flag. You can see 1 in the carry flag. So can you see this 1 in the carry flag?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so how do I make the processor say whether it is 0 or 1? So this is what you have to use. BHI, branch on I. So check the carry flag, examine the carry flag, and if it is high, go to loop 1. Okay, sorry, go to ones, branch to ones. I'm pressing F11, it should come to ones now. See the control, see this arrow? The control is at ones, and this is the statement under execution because we have encountered 1 1, and the count register associated with the ones count must be incremented. Okay, I'm incrementing R2. R2 is right now 0. I'm incrementing it and making it as 1 because we have encountered 1 1. See, R2 is incremented. Sorry, yeah, R2 is incremented. Next, so one shift in and again rotate, subtract 1 from the register R1. So it was how much? 20, which is nothing but 32 in decimal. Now we are subtracting 1 from it, it becomes 1F. Okay. Now this 1F is not equal to 0, so go back to loop 0. Loop 0. We are in the loop 0 and we are going for the second rotate. Let me come here. Second time when I'm rotating, this 0 is removed, it is copied to the carry flag, and the same thing is also added to the MSB position. Okay, next. So observe now, if I press F11, so this carry, no, 1, this was the value from the previous iteration. Now this will change to 0. So it will change to 0. See, is it changed to 0?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now branch on I. Now this I will check whether the carry flag is 1. Now carry flag is not 1 now. Now what happens? It will not come to 1s. Instead it will go for incrementing R3. See? So where is the pointer pointing? To this statement. Now R3 gets incremented by 1 more. So R3 is also 1. That means we have encountered 1, 1 and we have encountered 1, 0. Next. So unconditionally branch to loop 1. Okay. So whenever it comes here, because 0 is the value, I've incremented R3 and I need not increment the value R2. What is that I do? Unconditionally branch to loop 1. Come here. Then subtract 1 more from register R1. So it keeps going like this. So, and I think I need not do it for all the 32 iterations. Now keep watching here this 1E. Okay. So I'll keep doing this continuously. Okay. Until the value in the register R1 is 2 or 3. When I get 2 or 3, I'll slow down the process. Okay. So it is happening now. 1C, 1A, 1B, 18, 17, 16, 15, F, E. This is hexadecimal. Don't confuse with the decimal. Okay. Now 6, 5. So what you are observing? R4. Keep observing the register R4. It is R4, R1. Okay, it is 4 now. R1 is 3 now. Last 3 iterations to go. Our last 3 rotate right should go to go. And then 2. And then 1. Last iteration. And now 0. Okay. See where we are here. Now in R0 I got 0. That means on my first number 111, all the 32 shifts are finished, and after finishing the 32 shifts, what should be the value? How many ones are there? How many ones are there in this?
8.
8 ones. See? What is the register that is holding the ones count? R2.
R2.
8. 8 is there. And how many zeros are there? 24 zeros. 24 in hexadecimal is nothing but was 18. Now we got it. Now branch on not equal to condition is false. It comes and subtracts 1 from the register R7. So one memory location is done. Now we got to do it the same thing for the second consecutive memory location. R7 is decremented by 1. Comparing R7 with 0. So R7 is 1, not equal to 0. So where it goes? It goes back to the BNE. Sorry, to loop. We are back to the loop, loading once again, moving the value 32 or initializing the register R1 with the value 32. Next. Now what gets loaded into the register R0 is my next memory location. So how to read this? See, it is not 55AA, 55AA. You got to read from here. Little Indian representation. AA, 55, AA, 55. Now that is what is loaded into the register R0. AA, 55, AA, 55. Next, rotate right. So same thing we are doing on this data now. Okay. So I think it is not necessary for me to do 32 times step-by-step execution and show how the shifting rotate right is happening. So keep observing this R1 until it becomes 2 or 3, then I'll slow down the process. And we have the same value which is there in R2 and R3 continuing from this points. Okay. So just observe R1, R2 and R3. See, they are incrementing and R1 is decrementing. R1 is decrementing. So based on the value is 0 or 1, we have R2 and R3 getting incremented. I've already done it, and the final result is also written in the notepad. So now it is F, E, D, C, that is R1 register what I'm reading, B, A, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, last iteration, 0, done. Okay. Now let me come back here. See, what is the number of ones? 24. 24 in hexadecimal is nothing but what? 18. So you have the value 18 in register R2, and 40 in hexadecimal is how much? 28. So there are 28 zeros or 40 zeros in decimal, and 28 zeros in hexadecimal. Hope you people understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the program for counting the number of zeros and ones in the 2 consecutive memory location. So now what we will do is I'll stop debugging this, and then make it 3. So let me put comma 0x, okay, 0x 2 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this is what the data I'm taking. Okay. Now see, even in when you write this 1 single 2 in binary, how many ones you get? 1 1 you get. Now like this, how many ones are there? 8 more ones. And how many zeros are there? 24. Let me come back here. Now 8 more ones gets added to this. So that means it becomes 32 ones. 32 ones and 24 zeros gets added to this. That is 40 plus 24, it is 64. 64 zeros and 32 ones. What is the hexadecimal equivalent of 32? 20. Correct, right? And what is the hexadecimal equivalent of 64?
40.
How much?
40.
40. 48.
40.
Correct, huh?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yeah. So this is what the answer we should get now. Okay. So yeah, I've updated, and R7 must be updated to 3. So if you're not, see, you add one more value in the next consecutive memory location, and if you forgot to add update R7 register to 3, what it will do? It will only count the number of zeros and ones which are present in the first 2 consecutive memory location, and the third one will not be checked. So R7 also I've updated to 3. Now I'm translating my program, retranslating, and then okay, done. Now I'll go for debugging. (32) loaded, first value loaded, and then I'll go. I keep observing this R1 register, okay, until it becomes 2 or 3. So I'm going fast. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, F. So down counting. Three, 2, 1. So first iteration is completed. So it means counted the number of zeros and ones in the first data value. Now it comes to the subtract 1 from register R7, and then so go back to the loop, load the second data item, that is AA55, AA55, then repeat for 32 times, counting the number of zeros and ones. So now 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let us slow down. So there. So we are done with the second consecutive memory location as well. Next is the third consecutive memory location. See? So subtract, compare, and then loop back. So we are back to the loop, then load 32 again to the register R1, and then load the next data item, that is 222, got loaded into register R0. Now keep rotating. Okay. See? So when you rotate, so even you can see the R0 is updating. So it was 222, now it has become 111. So as and when it gets rotating, even the values are also changing. Now F11, so I just continue until R1 register becomes 1 R2. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So let us slow down. One last iteration, 0. We are done. See, observe now R2 and R3. In R2, how much you have? 20, and that is what we computed, 20H. And in R3, you have 40. That is what we computed, 40H. So hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you want to find only in the first memory location, okay, so no two consecutive memory location, only one I need to find. So okay, I can put comment there only. Making it as a comment, and this is the only one data value now. Save it, stop debugging, debug again. So I'm continuing now. Loaded, and the counting is started. Oh, sorry. One thing I forgot to do. R7 is not reduced. Yeah, R7 should be made as 1. Only one data value we have. Oh, I don't think I did. After doing this, I think I didn't do this. Okay. Now, let us do it fast, because you already know. A, okay. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last iteration 0. So 8 and 18. 8 is decimal also 8, and 18 is hexadecimal, and the decimal is 24. So 24 zeros and 8 ones are there in this number. So this is what the program is. All of you please copy this, and it's already there in the manual, which is already available in my Google site. And there, so and again let me change this back to the 2 consecutive memory location, because the question says 2 consecutive memory locations. So I want this program to be for 2 consecutive memory locations only. So we'll do it as per the question, and this is 2. And in the manual, I guess, so instead of 2, it is made as 1. Okay. Here I have updated in my copy, but the copy which is available in my Google site, it still says 2, 1. Please update it to 2. All of you are attentive, listening to me?
Yes, sir.
In the copy which is there in the my Google site, please update the R7 value to 2, because you got to do it for 2 memory locations, 2 consecutive memory locations. Please do update it to 2, because it is 1 there. Okay. So this much copy. Let me stop recording because I'm done with explaining.